Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how I made my travel palette and how I use it. So let's get started. So to make this palette, I'm using a simple cutting board with a handle, small plastic containers, a sponge, and E6000 glue. I got everything but the glue from the dollar store, so this is definitely a thrifty DIY. First, I had to decide on which side to place the plastic jars. Once I decided which way was best, I glued them in place by smearing on a thin layer of the E6000 glue with a popsicle stick. I prefer the E6000 glue for this project because once it is dry, it is waterproof, so I can wash my palette without destroying it. Once the jars are all glued down, I cut the sponge in half, since the whole sponge would have taken up too much space. Then I simply glued down the sponge as well, and that's pretty much it. Now, how does this thing hold up in the wild, wild wilderness of outdoor painting? Well, I'll show you. Here it is, all set up, and here's a sneak peek at my portable paint set. I have brushes and a water jar up top, and space for mini canvases and paint tubes below. So far this setup has really worked for me. And here's the lovely scene I will be painting today. I just felt like painting some clouds. And I'm also painting on a small pine board instead of a canvas for no particular reason. But back to the actual palette. I wanted to give it a test run before I filmed this painting so that I could see if the containers were airtight and would keep the paint from drying out. And indeed it stood up to the test. It's going on like 2 weeks now and my paint hasn't dried out. It's starting to get a slight bit gummy, so I'll probably have to clean out the jars soon, but I'm really impressed with how these little dollar store jars have worked. Really, there's only one thing that I wish I had done differently with this project, and that is the paint jars. I wish I had put them in 2 small rows at the top instead of lined them up one side. That way I would have had a lot more room to mix my paints down at the bottom of the palette. But it still works out for me really well, so I don't regret that too much. But I'm leaving this here as a warning to you, or caution, or just friendly advice. And if you're wondering what that dark little sausage blob that keeps wandering by the camera every once in a while is, that's my dachshund. That's Pippin. He wanted to be part of the fun. So the reason I made this travel palette and paint kit is because I have an art project in the planning stages that I'm hoping will happen this summer. So I wanted to get a head start and make this palette and test it out plenty of times to make sure it's going to work out for me. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you tried this DIY palette and if it worked for you. Hope you have a great day. Bye.